Do you ever feel like you're constantly available for everyone except yourself? You're replying to texts at midnight, saying yes when you mean no, and giving away your time like it's free candy. Well, it's time to stop. Today, we're diving into the powerful teachings of ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, plus some other Greek legends, to help you protect your peace, set firm boundaries, and take back control of your life. Let's start with Epictetus. This guy was a former slave who became one of the most important Stoic philosophers ever. He knew a thing or two about tough situations, right? Epictetus taught that the foundation of a good life begins with knowing what is and what isn't in your control. He famously said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." Think about that for a second. Being constantly available, that's usually about trying to control how others see us. We say yes to things we don't want to do to avoid disappointing people. But in doing so, we end up disappointing the most important person, ourselves. So the first mindset shift is this. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Start protecting your time like your life depends on it, because it kind of does. Your time is your life. Look, I get it. Saying no is hard. We're conditioned to be nice, to be helpful, to be agreeable. But here's the thing. Saying yes to everything means saying no to yourself, your goals, your dreams, your well-being. When you're constantly available to everyone else, you're unavailable to yourself. You're unavailable to the work that matters, the relationships that matter, the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. So how do you break free from this cycle of people-pleasing and reclaim your time? It starts with understanding the Stoic concept of control. You control your thoughts, your actions, your responses. You don't control other people's opinions, reactions, or expectations. Once you internalize this, you can start setting boundaries with confidence. You can start saying no without guilt. You can start prioritizing your own needs without apology. Remember, you're not being selfish. You're being self-aware. You're choosing to protect your most valuable asset, your time and energy. Next up, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic master. This guy was literally running the Roman Empire, so he knew a thing or two about demands on his time, right? Despite the pressures of leadership, Marcus Aurelius believed that the soul should be like a fortress on a hill, unshaken by the world's noise. He wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter retreat than into his own soul." Translation? You don't owe everyone your time, your energy, or your attention. Saying no isn't rude, it's wise. It's about protecting your mental space, your inner sanctum. Think of it this way, you're not a doormat, you're a gatekeeper. You get to decide who and what gets access to your time and energy. And like a king guards his castle, you should protect your energy fiercely. This might sound selfish, but it's actually the opposite. When you protect your energy, you have more to give to the people and things that truly matter. You show up as a better parent, a better partner, a better friend, a better human. So how do you cultivate this inner fortress that Marcus Aurelius talks about? It starts with mindfulness, being present in this moment rather than constantly reacting to external demands. When you feel the urge to say yes out of obligation, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this in line with my values? If not, politely decline. Remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't align with you, you're saying yes to yourself. Building this inner fortress takes practice. It's a daily commitment to prioritizing your peace, your well-being, your sanity. But the reward is a life of greater clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. All right, let's talk about Seneca. This guy was a Stoic philosopher and advisor to Emperor Nero. He was also crazy wealthy, which meant he had a lot of people trying to waste his time. Seneca hit this idea of protecting your time hard in his famous essay, On the Shortness of Life. He said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Think about that. We guard our money, right? We guard our possessions, but we give away time, our most precious resource, like it's nothing. We say yes to pointless meetings, scroll endlessly through social media, get sucked into drama that doesn't serve us. All the while, our days slip away, one after another. So here's a challenge. Next time someone asks you to do something that doesn't align with your goals, pause. Don't say yes out of habit or obligation. Ask yourself, does this move me forward or drain me dry? If it's not a clear hell yes, it's probably a no. Start living intentionally. Say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. Your time is your most valuable asset. Treat it that way. Start by identifying your time wasters. What are the things that suck up your day without adding real value? Once you're aware of them, you can start to eliminate or minimize them. Then, start scheduling your priorities. Don't just fit them in when you can. Block out time for the things that matter most: your health, your relationships, your personal growth. Remember, you're the architect of your life. You get to decide how you spend your time, your energy, your attention. Choose wisely. Chapter 4. Euthmeia, the Power of Peace. Let's switch it up with Democritus. While not strictly a Stoic, he was a Greek philosopher who lived around the same time. He's most famous for his atomic theory, but he also had some really interesting things to say about happiness. Democritus taught about Euthmeia, a state of inner contentment. He believed the key to happiness was focusing on your own path, not what other people were doing or thinking. Sound familiar? When you're always available, you let others steer your life. You're living by their compass, not your own. You're letting their opinions and expectations dictate your choices. But when you practice Euthmeia, you prioritize your own peace of mind. You start practicing self-loyalty. You ask yourself, is this who I want to be, or am I just trying to be liked? Look, we all crave approval. It's human nature. But true peace comes when you stop chasing external validation and start choosing alignment with your own values. It means having the courage to say no to the things that don't serve you, even if it means disappointing someone else. It means prioritizing your own well-being, even if it means setting boundaries with people you love. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. When you prioritize your own peace, you're actually better equipped to show up for the people in your life in a meaningful way. So how do you cultivate Euthmeia in your own life? It starts with self-awareness. What brings you joy? What drains your energy? What are your non-negotiables? Once you have clarity on these things, you can start making choices that support your well-being. You can start setting boundaries that protect your peace. You can start living a life that's true to yourself, not the expectations of others. Chapter 5. Adoraxia, the calm of saying no. Now let's talk about Adoraxia. This concept comes from the Epicureans and skeptics, other ancient Greek schools of thought. Adoraxia is a state of emotional calm, of freedom from worry and anxiety. And how did they achieve it? By avoiding unnecessary drama, commitments, and obligations. Sound familiar? You don't need to attend every social event, reply to every message the second you get it, or help every single person who asks for a favor. You're not obligated to be everything to everyone. In fact, trying to do so is a recipe for burnout and resentment. Being less available doesn't make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. It means you understand the value of your time and energy. It means you're choosing to invest those precious resources wisely, rather than squandering them on things that don't truly matter. You have to leave space in your life to hear your own thoughts, to pursue your own interests, to simply be. When you're constantly bombarded with external demands, it's easy to lose sight of who you are and what you want. But when you create space for stillness, for reflection, for solitude, you reconnect with your inner compass. You start to hear the whispers of your own intuition, guiding you towards the people and experiences that light you up. So how do you cultivate Adoraxia in a world that's constantly vying for your attention? It starts with setting boundaries. Turn off notifications, silence your phone, carve out time for yourself without apology. Learn to say no without guilt. It's not your job to please everyone. Remember, your peace of mind is paramount. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. Protect it fiercely. Chapter 6. Modern Tips Backed by Ancient Wisdom. Okay, let's bring this down to earth. We've talked about some big ideas from some seriously wise dudes. But how do you actually apply this ancient wisdom to your modern life? Here are a few practical things you can start doing today. First, put your phone on Do Not Disturb for at least 2 hours a day. The world will not end. You'll be surprised by how much you get done and how much calmer you feel. Second, block time in your calendar for yourself, just like you would for a meeting or appointment. This is your time to work on your goals, to pursue your hobbies, to simply relax and recharge, and don't apologize for it. Third, use this phrase when you need to decline something. I'm not available, but thank you for thinking of me. That's it. You don't need to give a long explanation or make excuses. Finally, try journaling every morning. Ask yourself, what do I want to protect my energy from today? This will help you be mindful of your boundaries and make conscious choices about how you spend your time. Stoic philosophy isn't some abstract, esoteric thing. It's deeply practical. It's about designing a life that's aligned with who you are, not who others want you to be. It's about living with intention, purpose, and peace. So, are you ready to stop being available to everyone and start being available to yourself? Let me know in the comments. What boundary are you setting today? If this helped you, hit like, subscribe for more weekly videos on Stoicism and self-mastery, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, protect your peace, choose yourself, and stay grounded. You got this.